I've always wanted to be a lawyer ever since I was a young kid, I guess. I don't know why. I just always wanted to be a lawyer. I got into criminal law. I guess the first case I had that moved me, we had two gentlemen come through here from Cincinnati, one black, one white. They were evangelizing, and they got locked up for vagrancy, and our vagrancy law had been declared unconstitutional, and so we had to go through two courts to get them to enforce the law. And we've got them out of jail, and wonderful guys. They just felt moved, and that sort of led me to the injustice of what happened. Led me to want to try to correct that one case at a time. Did both civil and criminal, primarily criminal law. I've taught criminal law to new lawyers so they could win their first case. And there's nothing more refreshing than to have one come back and say, I did what you told me and I won. It doesn't get any better than that. I've been president of the National Association of Criminal Defense Lawyers. And when I first started attending those educational meetings, I always come back and file some new motion, and I can remember the judges saying, well, Cox has been to another damn seminar. Okay? So it worked out pretty good. You learn every time you try a case, you learn something a little new. One of the problems with the law practice right now is people don't try cases. There is articles being written now about the loss of the right to trial because people are charged so high that if they happen to lose, they're gone forever. And so there's overcharging, overcriminalization. We have 2% of the world's population, 5% of the world's prisoners. Nobody else is anywhere near that. And so we need to rewrite the criminal laws and the penalties. Well, you don't get big breaks, you try cases and win. And that comes from, and I'll mention this again, maybe from Carrie, and out preparing the other side and leaving no stone unturned in a case. As a friend of mine used to say, if the facts don't support you, get more facts, and that's the way you learn to practice law. The big education has come in the last 50-something years of practicing law. The trying of cases and lecturing. In lecturing in law, and I've done a lot of it, and taught law to public defenders. First year, had never tried a case. Some of them weren't even licensed yet. But I taught them how to try what would be their first case, usually a DUI case or something like that. And you learn more doing that than you do anything else. And so it wasn't a big event as such, but a continuing saga of wrong people charged, over prosecution, that kind of thing. I got, there's on the wall out there, there's probably 15 presidential awards that I got for things I did for NACDL. And so that's the biggest thing. Of course, every time you win a case, it's, you know, I've tried a lot of murder cases. To win those is, you know, like saving somebody's life. Personally, I became, in 2014, the most distinguished lawyer in Kentucky. I got that award. I've been on Martindale-Hubbell. That is a book that rates all lawyers all over the country and other countries. And I've been an AV, that's the highest rating you have, for probably 35 years. And you have to care. I believe in a holistic treatment of clients and their families, because just because somebody's charged with crime, that person's not the only person that's injured. Mothers, fathers, children, all of those people are injured, and you have to take care of them. And I think caring about them has probably done more for me and them than anything else I can do. Of course, you can't do anything without a good home life, and I've married a wonderful woman who raised my children and did it fine, without trouble. And so I would never leave her out. I hope that it's young practitioners that want to do it right. We have a lot of bias, as you are well aware, and I don't need to tell you all about it, but correcting that bias is an awful bad chore, but I've worked at it and worked at it and worked at it. We don't have hardly any people of color here in this community, but we have the main roads, two main U.S. roads that go through our town. And so we get a lot of people of color, and there's two standards that we live by in this country, one for whites and one for non-whites, and we've got to fight that with every breath. You have a right to trial, use it judiciously. If you find yourself in that place, work to help our people live a better life. So if I can leave something to people, it's to get an education and learn about not just what you're studying, but learn about what people do around you and how they do it. We'll have a better world. One of the good things is Barry Scheck's program about correcting wrongs of people who have been sentenced and getting them out of jail with DNA. What a wonderful thing. The National Association just did a thing where we shortened people's sentences. Got clemency for them because they'd served long enough. And that's good, that's helping people. And so we do that. Clemency is a word that's used for mercy. It's the best thing I can think about. Mercy for people who've paid their dues to society, and it's time for them to get out. Now, it never leaves you if you're a convicted felon. It just stays there. And some states are passing laws to undo that, and I hope we get them passed here. It's a struggle. There are people that are learning. We're trying to teach the legislature about things that can be done to bring people back into society where they don't recommit. And that's a big thing that we need to work on. We're trying to bring clemency on the state level. And I hope we get here with it in every state, because there are people in jail that don't belong there any longer. I'm the first one here every morning. I'm among the last to go, except I'm a runner. I don't know if I've told you about that. I run marathons. All these medals over here are all the states and DC, except for 2 states that I haven't done yet. And I'm gonna do one in March if I can make sure my schedule fits it. There's nothing else I can do, nothing else I really know how to do. But I love teaching, I love practicing law, I love trying cases. And that's what I'm going to do. That's what I've been doing for a long time. I've not quit yet. I'll be 75 later this month, and I'm gonna go for another 20 years anyway.